Hello and welcome back to my desk. I wanted to make this video with an update about my planners for this year, but specifically because a couple of weeks ago things had got really busy and I had some serious anxiety issues around my planner, and it kind of made me realise that I'm probably not the only one who feels that it's not just a planner, it's how I feel in control of my life and all the things I need to do and stay in control of. Even working through the process of, okay, what do I do now then? If this is not working, what do I do now? It's quite scary when, you've put a lot of time and effort into your planning system. You've spent probably quite a lot of money on it as well. And it really is like the engine room of your life. I think for people who perhaps don't use planners or planning systems, I think it's easy to underestimate how much it matters when it just doesn't feel right. So as you'll have seen from previous videos, I'd switched this year to the Hobonichi the A5. I mean, even looking at it now, I absolutely love it. I mean, I've always wanted to try a Hobonichi A5. I've previously tried an A6 for journaling. And I can't really stress how much I wanted this to work, because it's a bigger book. It's A5, bigger than I would normally use, which is a B6 or a B6 Slim. I believed that this one book could hold everything. It could manage everything in my life. And with that, I mean both work, of which there are two parts to my work, and home and hobbies, if you like. So perhaps in hindsight I was expecting too much of it. I don't know. Now I will say that, again, if you've seen some of my previous videos, I have loved journaling in here and intend to continue. So there's nothing about this journal section that I'm going to change, because I'm loving doing that every day. Absolutely loving doing this. The issue came from the weekly pages. Now, I've always preferred a horizontal layout, and I know that, and I knew that when I bought this planner. And for the past few years, I've used either the Leuchtturm weekly planner and notebook, which is a B6 size horizontal layout. And then last year I switched to the Sterling Ink B6 Slim and stayed in it for a whole year and absolutely loved it. And again, that's the horizontal layout that I chose. Now, what happens, and this has happened before, which is why I really should have known better, because a few years ago I tried the Passion Planner again, one that I'd wanted for years and years and years. Eventually got a Passion Planner, absolutely loved it, the cover, everything about it, except it was a vertical layout. And it got to about this time of year, March, April, and the same thing happened, where I had serious anxiety of I can't feel in control. I can't see what I'm supposed to be doing every day. There's something about, I find it really hard to read my daily plans vertically. I know many people prefer that, and it is just a choice, isn't it? Perhaps it's just what you get used to. But the same thing happened with the Passion Planner, that I ended up switching back to a Leuchtturm weekly planner and notebook midway through the year. Now, I won't show you how messy it got in here, because of course it's got work and stuff, but just take my word for it when I say it got messy. Now, because I had really enjoyed the Sterling Ink B6 Slim last year, I had actually already bought it for this year, set it up, and then switched to the Hobonichi. Decided that no, this was going to be the year that I was going to finally try the Hobonichi A5. And then a couple of weeks ago, in having this panic and speaking to a couple of people about who I thought might, not just tell me I was crazy for overthinking the whole planner system thing, I said I can't continue with my weekly planning in here. But I don't want to give up on the Hobonichi. I do want to keep it for the journaling, which I love. So fortunately, because I already had this one, I just tried it for a week. And I won't show you the actual week that I did, but this is what it looked like. I basically use the left-hand page for appointments and reminders, and the colour refers to what I'm doing that day. So the green is my freelance work, the blue is my part-time job, and yellow is home or days off. And then I split this blank right-hand page into my freelance work, job, and home to-do lists, essentially. And even before I wrote anything in it, even now it's happening, I look at this layout, and I feel calm. And I don't know if you've ever felt that with a planning system, but I guess to some extent that's what we're all aiming for. And even when I started to populate it with appointments, reminders, and tasks, it still felt clean and doable and calm. And so I had to admit that this Hobonichi, as beautiful as it is for this year, was not going to be able to do everything that I needed it to do. And so for this year, I'm going to keep my journaling in here, in these pages, which I've set out just the way I like to use them. And then I'm switching back to the sterling ink for day-to-day or weekly planning, if you like. And in order to repurpose the journal or notebook section at the back of here, I'm just using this year simply for meeting notes or general notes and things like that. But in doing so, not only do I feel calmer, but I feel like, whilst yes, it's only April, I've already decided without a shadow of a doubt that I need this sterling ink horizontal for next year. And I probably will go a size bigger. I probably will go, this is the B6 Slim, I probably will go up to the B6. But nevertheless, I know for certain now that I don't need to try a vertical layout in any type of planner again in the future, because I've tried it enough times to know it doesn't work for me, which isn't to say it doesn't work for lots and lots of people, but I think there's something about feeling into what works, reflecting on it, and really taking notice of how your planner and system makes you feel. Because for me, if it's not making me feel calm and in control, then it's not doing its job. And I realise that may sound slightly extreme, but nevertheless that's what I'm going with. And in the last couple of weeks, having moved back into here, I just feel honestly a huge sense of relief. Do feel free to share with me if you've had a similar experience, what's working for you this year and perhaps what isn't. And I think perhaps we need to just open up these conversations about, like, I'm not overthinking this is actually really important to my overall well-being. So thanks for listening, and I hope you found that helpful.